So let's talk about construction managers at builders so you could have a better understanding of what they do and how they function. So first of all, the construction manager might also be called the construction superintendent. And typically that's a guy that's typically usually like the low man on the totem pole, so to speak, where above him is going to be an area manager, and above that area manager is going to be the regional manager. Now, the regional manager is usually the one that's in charge of, like, for example, the Orlando region or the Tampa region. So that manager has all the communities. Now, the area managers usually have like a couple of communities. They might have, 2, 3, or 4. Now, at each builder, there's going to be sometimes only one construction manager, or there might be several. I don't think I've ever seen more, though, than like 4 construction managers, okay? Now, usually on the lower end, the construction managers are going to have like 12 or 15 homes, and that's usually on the lower end. I have heard from some of these guys where they have like 80 homes. So just think about that for a second. There's one guy that might have 12 or 15 homes or whatever. That's a lot. And that's too much for any one guy. I'll be perfectly honest. Now, when we get to 80 homes, how is that one guy looking over all those homes? Now, sometimes what they do is they'll bring in like somebody underneath that construction manager that's basically doing some looking as well. And I've seen that at some builders. But, let's be honest. If one guy even has 10 homes, it's too many. It's way too many. To be able to walk them every single day and to make sure that there's no issues. And also, the construction managers have to deal with, typically they have to deal with the buyers. They do the walkthroughs with the buyers. They talk about the construction. They do the final walkthrough with the buyer as well. There's very few builders that have somebody else that does that, okay? There's a builder, I don't know, I think maybe like 2 of them have somebody else do the walkthroughs with the buyers, and that person typically has more the personality of like a sales associate compared to the personality of a construction manager. And, let's be honest, a lot of them should not be, dealing with customers. They shouldn't be talking to buyers. They don't have the patience. They're not friendly enough. Some of them are, but that's a very, very small group, maybe like 5%, So anyway, that's what they do. Now, they have so much on their plate that they can't possibly build homes that are perfect. And like I've said before, I always see tons of defects in every house. I mean, 20, 30 defects to me is like nothing. I mean, and actually that's probably like a good house. I remember like one of the earlier homes that I was a part of. That house had I think there was like 80 things wrong with that house, and it was huge. That inspection report, I remember, it was absolutely huge. So, that's just something to keep in mind. And there are many things against you as a buyer when you are purchasing a house. So that's why you have to do everything right from the start. Because if you believe in these people that they're there to build you a great house, or you put your trust or your faith in them, and especially when you don't want to call somebody that has skill on your side, especially like with me, where it's like it's basically free because it's builder paid to have me help you. There's nothing, that you have to pay out of pocket. When you ignore something like that because you're going to put your trust in a builder, I hate to say it, but, whatever you get, you get. And, they know that buyers don't know, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get whatever you get. They're going to give you whatever they're giving you, and you're going to have to take it.